Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So, for those of you who tuned in during the third quarter earnings, when I gave you guys the updates and all the numbers from the earnings report and then the earnings call, in those videos, and I made several of them, I stated that Verizon would have positive growth in the fourth quarter. And I said that well before any of these types of predictions and articles released that we're seeing today. I said that before. Just looking at a year over year last year, they added 41,000 positive net adds. And they're usually more promotionally heavy in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter is just a holiday shopping season. So they're going to be positive. Right? Even if they don't try, they would probably still be positive 10, 20, or 30,000, which is still a very low number. Right? Just to compare, as I said in those previous videos, T-Mobile and AT&T probably do 50, 60,000 lines on a single weekend. It took Verizon 3 whole months. Remember, a fourth quarter, 1 quarter is 3 months. It took Verizon 3 months to get 41,000 lines last year. So this year, even if they do double, right? Let's say they go to 80,000, which is double year over year. It would still be a low number, but it would still be net positive for Verizon. I want to see for me, if they do 80,000 in the Q4, that's a nothing burger for me. I want to see them grow 80 to 100,000 in Q1. I want to see them do 100 to 150,000 in Q2. I want to see them do that consistently in the quarters where they usually have slower quarters and where they're not as promotionally heavy. Right now, they're very, very promotionally heavy. If you look at all of the deals they're offering, they're doing 4 iPhone 14 Pluses for free. They're doing all these premium add-ons if you get fixed wireless access. I mean, they are very promotionally heavy right now. Very unusual for Verizon. So if they do 80 to 100,000, I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone as much as they're spending on customer acquisition costs. So that's something you have to take into consideration when you're looking at the overall picture. Are they going to do net positive in the fourth quarter? Yes, I think that's a foregone conclusion. But then they turn around by history and they go into their lowest quarter by history, which is Q1, where they usually lose the most, 200 plus thousand. That's when I want to see them go to a net positive. T-Mobile's not letting off the gas. They will continue being promotionally heavy in Q1. Not as heavy as in Q4, but they will be promotionally heavy. They will do whatever it takes to continue growing that company. Verizon has to change. They have to turn it around. They can't just be promotionally heavy and compete for 1 quarter and then let off the gas and, you lost 200,000 again this quarter. Oh, you lost 150,000. Oh, look, Q3, you're losing a bit less, and then Q4 you grow again. That's not a healthy way of running the company, because that's what it was this year. Q1, Q2, Q3, they just took less losses each quarter, and then Q4 they come out, net positive. And they did, it was very similar last year. Q4 was the only quarter where they had positive net adds. So they got to change. They got to change something. Something's not working. Marketing, the deals, the My Plan, whatever, it's not working. And the My Plan has already, in my book, been a failure because they couldn't get any traction in Q3. They said, right when they launched these plans in the spring, they said they would be net accretive, that they're one of a kind, they're innovative, people can choose the option. And in Q3, they had a loss. They had less of a loss, but they still lost customers. So they're not growing at a high enough volume to offset losses. Now in Q4, that'll be different. They will grow more than the losses. So they will be net positive. But I guarantee you, we turn around going into Q1 2024, they're going to be net negative again in Q2 and Q3. Until something seriously, drastically changes, And they can't, the whole spiel about, oh, in the C-band markets, we're churning less. But they're still churning. And if you add that across the C-band markets, it still leads to a higher churn than they would like. You gotta put all this into perspective. They tell you the numbers. They posted a higher churn in Q3 versus Q2, right? And this was just this last third quarter. Just put that in perspective. Today, they have over 230 million pops, closer to 240 million pops covered with C-band. So they've already moved through most of the major metro areas, and yet churn is still high. So I'll close the video out with that, right? Q4, again, like I said, that's a foregone conclusion. I said that before we got these articles and conferences that they would be net positive. No surprise here. For me, it's a nothing burger. I need to see them grow in Q1, Q2, and Q3. Make sure you guys stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.